I'm a student athlete here at Washburn, so I had been looking around to go out of state to play soccer. I'd grown up my whole entire life in Florida, so I'd really wanted to experience a place that experiences seasons and just kind of get out of my home and grow up a little bit. And so when I had gotten the opportunity to come and tour at Washburn, um, the biology department really was a huge deciding factor for me. I would just say that the community is very, very supportive and genuinely wants you to succeed as an individual. My classmates and I were always trying to help each other out on tests. Even now, like with virtual school happening right now, I still find myself like studying on Zoom with a lot of my classmates. We're all, I would say, a lot of like-minded individuals. We all want to do very well. And I think this biology department does a really good job of just kind of, I would say, like, shaping that mentality. I've never been in a class with someone who doesn't want to get an A in that class or doesn't want to excel. And then on top of that, the professors have always been super helpful. Since my freshman year with cell bio, I had Dr. Sadicott, and she has always been such an active professor. She genuinely cares about how you do in the class, how you perform. She's always open for office hours, as well as all the other professors. And then my advisor, Dr. Mulliken, he's always helping me plan my future and plan out how to go about certain classes, how to study for certain classes. And, you know, being a student athlete, sometimes it's hard to work around schedules and seasons. And he does a really great job, and as well as other professors do, at helping me kind of work through the issues. I do have a lot of tips. You just want to play a game of efficiency. So, um, you want to show up to class and be an active presence. It will do that much better for your grasp of information. And then I think I've just like learned to really be active in class and to be like an active person in our community, just because it's brought me the best results in terms of being a student. And then I also think it'll give you like a good college experience as well, just kind of being active and making those connections with your professor, because the information you learn will be that much more enjoyable. You'll probably do better on your tests, and kind of just like it helps relieve stress being an active presence in class and like making these interactions with people. As a freshman, I don't want to like scare you by any means, but these classes are going to be very different from high school and even like AP or IB courses if you've taken them. These classes move fast. I think that's a big shock for everybody coming into college. If we do have virtual school by any chance, like professors are going to send you lectures where they voice over and go through slideshows. So one of the mistakes I had made was I would come in and be trying to write down the whole entire slide in my notebook, that I wouldn't be able to really like pay attention to what my professor was saying, because not everything that's on the slide is going to be discussed in class. And it's really important that you are an active learner in class, and that also counts as kind of one pass over the information. So I would say come into class, like, be very tentative and ready to learn. And a good tip for that is to sometimes, usually professors provide you with PowerPoints prior to. So I would print off those PowerPoint slides, like either like 4 or 6 to a page, and then just kind of take notes on the page as the professor talks. That way you can be an active learner and an active presence and ask questions. Sometimes it might be difficult to really fully process information and then be able to like formulate a question during class. And so it's really important that you pass over that information within like 24 to 48 hours, just so you can build kind of a question base, and you can either email your professor or ask them in class the next day. It really helps to kind of clarify that information, because on tests you will be asked to really articulate. It's not just going to be kind of like a multiple choice. And in terms of like study tips, I would say something that helps me a lot is summarizing my notes, not necessarily rewriting them all, but reviewing them through and then kind of summarizing them. And then it really does help to build friends in class. And I would say to review with a study group as much as you can. That way you have multiple brains going at once, and we're kind of explaining how to process information. So that way, if there's any gaps in what you know, someone else might be able to fill that for you. In terms of just being a successful biology student, just really be an active learner in class, build a good relationship with your professor, and go to office hours or tutoring if you need them, and just work with your class and make sure that you have the best chance of really building an understanding for the knowledge. Because if there's one thing that I've learned from your first level classes, cell biology, and if you're taking chemistry or anything like that, those concepts are going to be fluent throughout the rest of the courses you take at Washburn in the biology department. So it's really important that you get a good grip and a good understanding of the concepts and the understanding moving forward to be a successful biology student. Take your labs seriously. They can be fun. One of the most fun labs I think I've taken was, I want to believe it was microbio. You get to do a lot of cool stuff in terms of like swabbing like certain surfaces throughout the Washburn and kind of seeing like all the germs, which is a really good application as of right now. We're going through a pandemic, so it's interesting to see just how many microbes are on like the surface of things that we commonly touch. Um, but yeah, I would say human physiology has been one of my favorite classes to take, and then microbiology as well. Those are some things that you can't miss. And just be like an active presence in lab. Lab is fun. Anytime you get a chance to do anything hands-on, I think is really fun, and it's a good learning experience. It's okay if you don't do well, like in your first class. Don't be mad at yourself. Just always have the mentality to do better. And I would say just trial and error, do what works best for you. I am in the library. You can ask any of my friends at least 6 out of 7 days in the week. There are a lot of other spots that people can go to, but that's just always been like my place. Getting active, doing something that's different than science. When you're a biology major, I just feel like you get thrown science classes at you all the time. So when you have those opportunities to take classes that are different than science, it's okay to pick things that are of other interests of you and like enjoy them. I took an African arts class. I know some of my other teammates who are biology majors will take like yoga class or like tennis. And so it's okay to take classes that kind of give your work a different part of your mind. And then I would say, especially during this time right now, going on walks is a great thing just to kind of like de-stress. So I would say just to not override your brain with science, definitely take those breaks and do things that are different, that work a different part of your mind. It's totally fine.